What's up, everybody? Remember Sergeant Dave Kapersky? Well, guess what I got? I got some body cam footage, and it's going to shed a new light on how things actually were that day. So, we're going to break it down a little bit. I have the IA report. I have the body cam footage. I got a lot of body cam footage. I got like 10, 12 different officers' footage. I did not, however, get Kapersky's footage. That wasn't given to me at the time. It might be available. I don't know. But as of right now, I don't have it, but I have a ton of footage from the other officers. Oh, I don't know. We're only going to focus on two of the videos, though. They're the only two that actually have any kind of pertinent information on it. So we're going to do a quick review on what happened here, and then we're going to kind of dive into this and do a little digesting.
Get back behind this Jeep. I'm going to escort you.
Get your hands off of me.
Absolutely not.
Get your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant.
Back
Get your
behind this
hands
Jeep.
off of me, Sergeant.
You are going to stay here.
You're going to keep your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant.
You're going to stay right here.
You're going to keep your hands off me.
I'm going to actually pat you.
No, you're not. You do not have RAF. You do not have. Okay, please.
I don't know what your intentions are.
Pat me. You know what my fucking intentions are, asshole. Just like last night and the night before, fuckhead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Stay back.
You don't have. Hey, get your fucking hands off of me.
Don't you
get your fucking hands off of me.
Stay right there.
You do not have the right to fucking touch me like that, Sergeant.
I can escort you to where I need you to be.
No, you can't.
Absolutely,
no,
I can.
You can't. Just like you can take my camera 2 nights ago, right?
Absolutely.
Just like it's okay for you guys to fucking violate me last night, right?
Just like I told you.
See, you're making this scene about you.
If you're
I've been
filming
quiet.
a crime scene,
yeah, and guess what?
I could take that
guess
as
what?
evidence.
42 USC 2000 says you cannot, for journalistic purposes.
You're not a journalist. Where's your press pass? Let me see your press pass. All right, guess what?
Yeah.
I don't know what
guess what? You know what? Yeah, look at it. Enjoy it. You want to get a good look at it.
A good citizen.
Yeah, good look at it.
Okay,
the United States has not required press passes for nearly 200 years,
listen,
sir.
You should also learn that press has to listen to what police officers say about where they can stop for their press area.
The United States Supreme Court has said 10 feet. And if you want it, sir, secure, you put up crime scene tape.
It's where we say.
You put up crime scene tape.
You
put up tape.
It is where we say.
Put up tape.
It is where we say.
I really think Toledo Police believe this because Officer Trudeau and Hughes did this to me outside of crime scene tape. Promised to arrest me 3 nights ago, right? Monday, 3 days ago. If I didn't move across the street away from the crime scene tape. We'll get into this, though.
You put up tape.
So you stay back here when we finish.
105 affirmative.
You can move up closer. He doesn't want to be filmed, by the way.
Doesn't matter. It's in public.
He doesn't want to be filmed.
It doesn't matter.
So that's fine. So you're going to stay here now.
I'm on a public place. I can record anything I can see from fucking public, including him, including them people, which, of course, I didn't because there's kids involved. Sergeant. What'd you call me?
Mr. Press Guy Collins.
Yeah, what's up, buddy? How you? Yeah, you know my name, don't you? Guess what? You're gonna call me Mr. Cole because I'm gonna be so far up your ass, you're gonna know I'm there. Penguin walking motherfucker. Fucking touch me, your ass is fucking done with.
Alright, so let's get into this IA report. This is one of 2 pages for the Kapersky part. There's a little bit more talking about when I first went there to discuss things, and we rescheduled and all that. So they had some kind of interaction, so they documented it. No issues there. This says that on Tuesday, June 29th, I went to One Government Center for a scheduled interview. I gave them a flash drive with a bunch of videos on it. It was Sergeant Patricia Gomez, Joshua Bell, and Lieutenant Jessica Meyer. Because Sergeant Kapersky is a sergeant, it had to be someone higher than him that did the investigating, so that's why there's a lieutenant involved. It discussed the incident June 23rd. Let's see here. June 23rd one was the one that Kapersky was with the flashlight bandits. They said that it didn't violate policy, but we'll get into that here in a minute. But then it comes to the one where he wasn't barricaded. Just the dude didn't want to come out of his house, man. He did nothing wrong to be yanked out of his home, which is why they let him go ultimately. So this is just a quick breakdown of it. You know, I don't know your intentions, which we all know that he did. He called me by my name, and I hadn't identified to him there, so he knows me. He knows what I was doing. So let's give you a chance to read this. Nothing specific here that's very special. Everyone knows what my complaint is, and now we'll move on to page 2. All right, so here's page 2. Page 2, I believe they only used my video footage of it. I honestly don't think she looked into the body cam footage. I might be mistaken, but had she looked at the body cam footage, in my opinion, she would have seen things a little bit differently with, the trained eye that she's got, right? After reviewing the incident, it's clear that it's nearing its conclusion, although it's not complete, which it wasn't complete at first, no. A subject who was detained in the back of a marked vehicle is not yet fully released. Crews are still on scene and distracted with tasks related to the call. Officers cannot dedicate needed attention to an individual quite close to personnel, equipment, and a citizen in their care. Quite close to citizens and equipment and personnel. Let's look at that real quick. This is a 2-lane road with on-street parking. So this is at minimum 30 feet away, being on the sidewalk. So I'm on the sidewalk all the way across. I'm easily 30 feet away, if not more. So how can this be considered too close when Toledo Police policy says I'm allowed to be within ear or hearing and recording range? It says so in their policy that I can be within a range. I can record video and audio. I'll show you all this in the end. So it says each scene is different, and those on scene must abide by the limitations set by officers present at the time. There's no such thing as a one-size-fits-all distance, at which point a scene is determined to be safe for onlookers. Okay. In this circumstance, Mr. Collins has been repeatedly on calls. Now, here's where they try to make me out to be a bad guy here. You ready? It says I've been on multiple calls. All right? Mr. Collins had been seen repeatedly on calls recently. Mr. Collins was standing behind most officers. Lighting was poor. Hold on. Wait, what? That doesn't look very dark. That's actually a street light. That's not the sun. That's a street light pointing right at us, illuminating everything we're doing. We are very well visible. So I don't understand where that comes from. Here's another angle. Look at how well lit everything is. The light is shining off of me. It's illuminating everything. You can see my mic that's attached to my phone and my gimbal. You can see everything all the way down. And there's another another street light just to the left, a little bit further down, that's still lighting things up. So obviously plenty of lighting. All right. So now we go. Also, the officers were responsible for an individual in their care. Sergeant Kapersky and other police personnel had every right to direct Mr. Collins to move back. Although he was warned many times, Mr. Collins failed to comply. He had a duty to oblige. We'll discuss this. A pat down for weapons is justifiable in this situation for many of the same reasons that justified Mr. Collins being directed back from the officers. Mr. Collins exhibits signs of defiance of police direction. Yet, he seems to be drawn to police activity. This in itself is a red flag. Yeah, they're going to try and label me a terrorist or something. It is reasonable for an officer in this circumstance to want to know if the person standing behind him, repeatedly responding to calls for service, is armed or unarmed. Sergeant Kapersky is justified in his use of a pat-down for the safety of all involved. When he was moved back and was patted down by officers, Mr. Collins began arguing with Sergeant Kapersky. His words became aggressive and vulgar. Officers never matched that level of incivility. I agree. They never spoke like I did. They have a code of conduct that they must abide by. I have laws that I must abide by, and I was doing that. So now we're going to discuss the duty to move and all this other stuff, and why I stood my ground and refused to move the first time. I didn't want to push an arrest. You don't have to get arrested to make change. So we're going to get into that right now. All right, here we go. We got the news media relations policy for Toledo Police Department. This is what they go off of. This is the rules governing their behavior. So the very first thing is the policy. It shall be the policy of the department to actively seek to establish a cooperative climate in which the news media may gather or disseminate information or visual images on matters of public interest in a manner that does not hamper police operations. Department personnel shall, by not interfering, allow others to interfere with media personnel acting in their news gathering capacity. A typo in there messed me up. It must be understood, however, that certain information must be withheld from media in order to protect the constitutional rights of the accused, to avoid interfering with the Department of Investigation, or because of it being legally privileged. If the information cannot be released, the reason for denial should be explained. Okay, in other words, it's public information, you can have it. If it's, specified under state law as privileged, then you can't. That easy. And since photography and or videotaping is rarely unlawful, absent any other indicators of criminality, like trespassing and whatnot, which is why their sign is in the way it is inside the safety building, like trespass statute on it. Since photography and or videotaping is rarely unlawful, absent any other indicators of criminality, an investigation of a report of suspicious photography or videotaping thought to be terrorism-related is governed by the constitutional and statutory rules generally applicable to the investigation of any other type of suspicious activity or behavior. Forcible detention of an individual engaged in such activity may occur if a member of the department can articulate reasonable suspicion that the subject is engaged in photography or videotaping for terrorism-related purposes. Merely recording is not terrorism. All right, so that's that. And as you can see here, it defines news media member, a staff, and freelance representatives of print publications, newspaper, magazines, electronic broadcast. It says radio and television as examples, but you know what? YouTube is an electronic broadcast. News and photo agencies. Newsworthy events are crime scenes, incident scenes, motor vehicle crash scenes, and any other events or activities that may be of interest to the public. So, being at a barricaded subject is what they called it, but it was so stupid. Barricaded subject, that is a newsworthy event. It's an incident scene that the public would want to see, especially someone like me that can get this stuff on the air. It's the whole point of me doing this, honestly, is to show what's happening at night and then to help bridge the gap between the community and law enforcement. And these things aren't happening when I'm being treated like this. It just kind of defeats the purpose of trying to do this, but it has to be shown in order to fix it. All right, the next thing we're going to talk about is news media credentials. There is some stuff in between. It's just kind of stuff talking about requesting records and whatnot. I'll put this whole thing in here. But news media credentials, to ensure the department is communicating with an authorized news media representative at the scene of a police incident, and to ensure the representative is not unnecessarily obstructed in the pursuit of his function, the department will honor all valid news media credentials. Well, are they talking about the ones the city provides? Because you can get one through the city. Are they talking about the ones that these companies provide their employees? So it talks about here how the Director of Safety, Public Safety, is authorized by the city to issue these passes. I just might go about this way. I really am thinking about it. But then I don't want to have to deal with what they say I have to do when I have rights legally. So that's the toss-up, Don't want to get a concealed permit because I should be able to just carry it. But you have to because that's the game you have to play. It's just one of those kinds of things, The possession of news media credential issued by another government, law enforcement agency, or those issued by media organizations should be persuasive evidence that the possessor is a legitimate media rep. That legitimate media rep is what gets me. So that's, I skipped a part, I know. So that's what gets me. So let's go back to this one above. It says that Director of Public Safety can issue those credentials, and they are issued to newsmen from newspapers, news services, news magazines, radio and television stations which maintain regular news services in Toledo and which are legitimate current news disseminators. Any such credentials must be available to both local and visiting media members, which may include on-site availability immediately preceding or during a newsworthy event. So I could go up to these events and be like, hey, I need a spot pass, basically. I need an immediate press pass. Let's go. Read the next part already. 2.3.3. Authorization for entry is normally dependent upon possession of a permanent city-issued media credential. Now, what that is talking about their crime scenes. So that's basically saying the crime scenes, you can go in. They will allow people into them if they have the proper credentials and if they deem it safe or worth doing so, like the officer in charge. I'm not asking for any of that. I don't want in your scenes. leave me in the shadows or under a street light as it may be. Just do my thing. Look at me. Wave. I'll wave back. Hey, how you doing? Have a good day. And we'll be done. You know, fist bump, you know, kind of how you doing and be out. That's the goal. But they just can't help themselves, man. Just can't help themselves. So this authorization for entry, you can get temporary media credentials for entry into a particular area and for coverage of a special event. Not what I'm going for. This thing is, it says it's normally dependent upon possession of a permanent city issued, but you know, you can get them spot one. So that's one of the things that you can do. It says, you know, again, honoring others from other locales and things like that, agencies. And then deny of media credentials may be appealed to the deputy mayor of public safety. You know, and if the incident commander at this incident, activity, or event determines that media access must be restricted in certain circumstances to carry out law enforcement functions or safety issues, they have the discretion to do so. So that's not saying that they can just shove me back when I'm way out of the way. Like, that's ridiculous. I wasn't in the way. I was 25, 30, maybe more feet away. So I wasn't in their scene, and well, I'll explain why I wasn't in their scene. It could be, right? But there's no tape up, so there's no official scene or border. But there's an unofficial one, and I followed it all the way up to the scene. So let's go to the next one. All right, the stuff we skipped over is just talking about how the department will do media releases and things like that. So now we're going to go to crime and incident scenes. Ohio Revised Code 2917.3, misconduct at emergency specifies prohibited conduct during an emergency. However, it does not prohibit or limit any news media representative in the lawful exercise of the news media representative's duties. Let's read that again. It does not prohibit or limit any news media representative in the lawful exercise of the news media representative's duties. My duty is to record and report. Don't get in the way of that. We're good. 5.1, entering closed scene authorization. I don't want in their scenes. I don't want that. It's not what I'm going for. I'm not allowed to unless it's permitted. Authorization based on possession of a permanent city issued news media pass, or the scene commander allows it. You're on your own if you get hurt. And they may, now 5.4, police lines may be established to prevent persons from entering an area of a serious police incident or a crime scene, dependent upon the tactical situation of the likelihood of jeopardizing the police operations. Members of the news media may be allowed in such areas. Again, saying I can be in there if they allow me. Again, it's not what I want. The Trudeau incident, I'm outside the tape and they still forced me back another, 25 feet under promise of arrest. So that is we're getting to that right now, actually. 5.5. While a news media member may be permitted in the area of a crime scene or serious police incident, he or she does not have the authority to be within a crime scene or area which has been secured to preserve evidence or at any location where his presence jeopardizes police operations. This is kind of how they're letting Kaspersky do what he did. This is a guideline on their borders. So if they use tape, they use cones. There's a few ways to do it. Their vehicles, if they have the vehicle blocking the street, it's obvious that that's their borderline to an extent. 5.6. Department personnel shall not interfere. Hold on, what does that say? Department personnel shall not interfere with the videotaping or photographing of incidents in public places. However, this does not include access to interior crime scenes or areas secured by security reasons. Again, tape, cones, barriers shall not interfere. Does not mean put your hands on them and move them away. Does not mean put vehicles in front of them. Does not mean shine flashlights in their faces or in the camera so they can't get it. Shall not interfere. 5.7. In order to cooperate more fully with members of the news media and provide them with access to cover incidents, events, activities, and scenes of public interest, the following guidelines shall be complied with unless they interfere with public safety interests and or recognized law enforcement procedures. Did you hear that? Unless they interfere with public safety interests and or recognized law enforcement procedures. Nowhere there does it say officer safety. That's their go-to. It's officer safety. That's not what their guideline says. anywhere in here. Now, it does say for areas secured for security reasons, or where it jeopardizes police operations, unless they interfere with public safety interest and or recognized law enforcement procedures. 5.7.1. The media shall be granted close access. This is great. I love this. The media shall be granted close access to the incident, event, activity, or scene with a clear line of sight and within hearing range of the incident, event, activity, and or scene. Again, the Trudeau incident, Trudeau Hughes, Braun, and I don't know who the other one is in 181, which I seen them turds tonight. Oh, one of your name is Kaczynski, but you weren't the one driving that night. Okay, I'm learning. All right, so point 2, when incidents, events, activities, and scenes spill over or occur on private property or lawfully restricted public property, members of the media shall not be arrested for criminal trespass unless an owner or property representative expressly indicates they do not wish the media to be permitted to enter or remain on the property. In other words, they have the property. It's theirs. They can tell us to leave. The police cannot, unless those people say we don't want them there. So let's look at this again. 5.7.1 says that I have the right to be within hearing range. Audio recording is a lot closer than what I am in all of my calls that I go to. I stay to the point to where I can barely hear people just to record the incident itself. But I have the right to be within hearing range of the incident, event, activity, or scene. So, let's go to point 3. If the incident commander at the incident, event, activity, or scene determines that media access must be restricted in certain circumstances, like for them to carry out the law enforcement functions, or to retain their scene's security, things like that, say like, we're going to move you back, and then they're going to put tape up. That's fine. He or she retains the discretion to do so. Again, this is the one we've seen up there in the 2s with the first part that we were looking into. So with these 3 sections, it's obvious what Kaspersky did was a violation of policy. But they're trying to skirt around it, saying if the incident commander at an incident, event, activity, or scene determines that media access must be restricted in certain circumstances, in order for the department to carry it out, he or she retains the discretion to do so. Now, that says restrict access. Does not say physically move. It doesn't say put your hands on and perform a Terry pat. It does not say to move them physically. It would have been really easy for them to just put some tape up. But they're not going to do that at this point, and here's why. Their scene was freaking over. You don't believe me, I know. But I'm going to show you how I have proof their scene is over. Let's get to that. Because this what time? I got 7, 8, 9, 15 hours ago. And I instantly stopped, chopped it, and said, this is beautiful. So let's look at this piece of gorgeous body camera. Pay attention to the words he uses here.
I'm going to have a break it down in the back, Joe. We're good? Yep. 306 to 121, you can break it down.
Your sandal's right out in front here.
And 306 this bed, you can break down this section.
Seeing them walking up to the scene, this is what I said. Well, they're letting the kids back in, which means they've secured everything. So it's my turn to get close. So here they made the determination to let the guy go. Listen very carefully. You hear body cameras getting shut off.
Definitely don't want to kill yourself.
Stop recording. Stop recording.
Now listen, I'm going to tell you this one time, okay? All the times I've been out here and I've been nice, I've been
4 or 5 body cameras. You can see me in the background. I'm not the guy in the red. I got the gray shirt on.
Listen. Listen. Somebody in this household has lied to me now. So the next time I come out here, I can't be friendly and nice. I gotta treat you guys like somebody lying to me.
Back up past that Jeep.
I know. You see what I'm
Back up
saying?
past that. They live here. Back up past the Jeep. I'm not considering arguing. You have nothing to do with this. Back up past the Jeep. Back up past the Jeep.
Now, we've already established that I can be there based on recording, right? The reason I'm saying that I have a right to be there is because they closed the perimeter. They got rid of it.
Okay.
Close it down. We're good.
Hey, who's got off? Come on.
Hey, you're cold. And I apologize, man. Wasting your time. Y'all got other shit to be doing, man. I apologize.
We got another one of these going on right now.
I swear, y'all. For real?
Pay attention to his handcuffs.
Oh, shit. Man, you put your shotgun on. Look, that's him too, though. Look.
No, it's not for you, man.
No, but I'm saying, Sarge, that's him.
Right
And
hand
you
goes
always
on
be
top.
with you, huh?
No, it's me. No, they're just always around.
Oh, yeah, it is him, huh?
Once his left hand is
Where the
uncuffed,
lady at?
that's what Kapersky makes his move.
Oh, there she go. I'm sorry, y'all.
What I say? Back behind that Jeep. He don't.
Your scene's over, man.
Dude's released. He's still in the street.
Shut the fuck up, bitch. I don't want to go. Get your hands off of me. Get your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant.
All right, we don't need to see that again. But what we're going to do is we're going to pay attention to this real closely here. Kapersky, seeing me back there, they've made the determination this dude's getting released. They take the cuffs off him. His right hand is up on top of the vehicle. His left hand is being unhandcuffed. And watch again. Before Kapersky even gets to me, this guy is released. And there's going to be another angle I'm going to show you that shows, like there I am in the background, that little shine of the light that was so dark that, it reflected the street light. So let's pay close attention to the handcuffs. And I'm going to pause it when the handcuff is removed. And then we're going to see where Kapersky is at in this the very next frame. So let's go here. He's getting a tongue lashing. You could save this all an hour and 10 minutes of our time. But, everybody's okay. It is what it is. So here he goes. Kapersky says something to me right there. Tells me to back up. And he's about to remove him. They have to do the whole I'm your daddy, I'm going to scold you before they let you go. They have to give directives or scold you. Like, this is whatever. Alright. Dude's getting out. Nice dude. Talked to him after this. He's a pretty cool dude. So the left hand, right, takes the cuff off the right hand first. Kapersky's now saying something to me. And we'll watch this guy's left hand. Alright, he's about to be out of the cuff. Alright, he is now unhandcuffed as of this moment right here. Let's see where Kapersky is. Kapersky is still in the street. He hasn't made it to the grass yet. He's still on this side of the Jeep that's in the street there. So the guy's been released. Everything that happens after this point, even after the point where they were releasing him, it was pointless. It was stupid to do. But right here, the guy's released. I'm going to show you another angle.
Get your hands off of me. Get your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant.
It's probably going to be me, you, Sperry, and Sarge going in if we do make entry.
SWAT not coming out?
No, I think they're going to the other one.
Okay. Well, Mike will point me in then.
Yep. You need rifles.
Right. Shit, Dustin and Mark got my other set of cuffs.
I got 2.
Okay. Right side curtain just moved. Bottom right window. The right side of the curtain moved. The inside middle. Just.
James, if you're in there, come out. You're not in any trouble.
I'm gonna open this back door. We'll open the back door.
If you want to move across from me, that's open.
Oh, copy. Yeah.
James, come out.
I'm gonna go up, Sarge.
Come on out, James.
I got your cover.
Come
Go.
on down to the sidewalk, all right? Just turn around, drop to your knees. We'll come up.
Let me know when you're going.
Okay? I know. We'll figure it out, James, all right?
Hey,
I got him.
Lay on your stomach for us.
I got him.
Moving.
Stay there.
Come on with you.
Hey,
Alan.
hang on a minute. See what you're doing. Back up.
I ain't got nothing, sir. I swear to God, I swear I don't, sir. I got a mouth in my mouth. That's it, sir. Damn, all this for me? Hey, sir, all this for me? Hey, sir. Sir, all this for me? What did I do? Damn, for real? Damn, what? Wow, what did I do? This is all for me, y'all? This is all for me? Because when I was scared, she told me not to. What are you about? Man, look, she told me not to come out, sir. It's my wife, yo. All this for me, though, yo? Yeah, man. All this for me, though. That was all out here for me. What? For what? Worried for what? Just lost my mom and everything. Y'all worried about me? Y'all worried about me, sir? I just lost my mom and everything. I know. She said I'm proud of it. Y'all doing all this for me, man. You gotta call this up. Come on, man. I just lost my mom. I'm gonna follow it. I ain't gonna hurt myself. Come on, man. You didn't know that, but you come out. Listen, if you come out and talk to us. I just seen the lights, though. I was just hiding, though, because shit, she just told me that I ain't supposed to be here, sir. You ain't supposed to be here. I'm not. I got a TPO out of Oregon, so I ain't supposed to be here. I'm not supposed to be here, though, sir. Sir, I have a TPO out of Oregon. I'm not even supposed to be here. I was hiding in the closet. I was wondering why I ain't hear no noise, and I just stayed to see these lights and came out on my own. She's been here with me, sir. It's my woman. It's my wife. She's been with me since my mom died, sir. I know. I've been here with you. Remember how many times been out here and stuff? I just came out, it's like you seeing the light. I seen the lights, like, what the fuck is going on? It's so quiet. I don't hear the kids no more.
She told you to hide. So you were here.
The kids been knew I was here, sir.
Man, why is everybody lying to us?
I swear, the kids, my wife, everybody know I'm here. I don't know why they lying, sir. I was just hiding, though. I was underneath the sink. You go in there, the water's still dripping, sir. The water's still dripping underneath the sink, sir. I don't want no trouble, man.
Nobody wants wants any trouble, James.
Why
Why didn't you come outside earlier when we were banging on the doors?
Because I was scared. I'm not supposed to be here, sir.
James,
I hid in the closet.
How long you had that protection on?
Man, I just got it, man. And then my mom died and she been around me, sir.
Okay.
I don't want this shit, man. I'm like, what the
We've been out here like 5 or 6 times. I've done bullshitting with you.
I know you have, sir.
All right. We ain't
Never
never had a problem. Yeah.
You big dog. Okay.
Yeah.
Sir, I don't want no trouble, sir. Listen.
You ain't got no trouble. The problem is
I
we
was
thought
scared,
you were
though.
trying to kill yourself.
No, I just looked out the window like, what the fuck is going on? Damn.
Why don't you answer the damn phone even when I'm calling?
My phone there, sir.
The 567 one.
567
It's been ringing.
It ain't ringing. It's in my pocket right now. It's there, sir.
It was just ringing for me.
Call it right now, sir.
It's like call it the 567-377-3509.
I swear, it ain't never ringing,
Now,
sir.
and what's up with this one, the 503-9071?
That's my old number, sir.
Where's that
No,
at?
that's Nina's phone.
Where's that phone at?
I don't know. She got it somewhere, because I've been trying to call her, too. Why the fuck I ain't hearing no noises around this bitch?
You want to kill yourself?
No, hell, my mom just died. Why the fuck would I want to kill myself,
I
sir?
don't know, man. A lot of people want to kill themselves like
I
their
don't
mom
wanna die.
died, okay?
Come on, man. I ain't about to kill
Did
myself.
you
My
say
fucking mom
something
just
silly
died.
that made her think you wanted
Man,
to?
she just thought that because we got into a little...
Was she pissy with you?
She was pissy with me, sir. Come on, man. I'm about to go to the fucking field. My mind just lost my mind, sir. Don't get on the field, though. I'm about to go to the field. Sir, listen, I'm not supposed to be here, though, so I'm hiding, though. Because I'm not supposed to be here. I got a TV violation, sir. I'm scared. I'm not supposed to be here. Yeah. I thought it'd go for your light Cheryl better. She's not out here. She's on the bed. When you come on it, you heard her? And we all got families too, you know. Yeah, it was a quick call, so her boyfriend was there, so fuck with her. I'm gonna have a break it down in the back, Joe. We're good? Yep. 306 to 121, you can break it down.
Your sandal's right out in front here.
306 this bad, you can break down this section.
Copy. Active on time is 5:30. All units expect. Okay. You definitely don't want to kill yourself.
Stop recording. Transport suspect. Stop recording.
Now listen, I'm going to tell you this one time, okay? All the times I've been out here and I've been nice, I've been friendly, and we've been good, right? Now, I'm getting stories from the same people, right? Which means somebody lying. Listen. Somebody in this household has lied to me now. So the next time I come out here, I can't be friendly and nice. I gotta treat you guys like somebody lying.
Back up past that Jeep.
I know. You see what I'm
Back up
saying?
past that, they live here. Back up past the Jeep. I'm not gonna sit there and argue with you. You have nothing to do with this. Back up past the Jeep. Back up past the Jeep.
Like I said, man, okay? Yeah, I know. Now listen. You don't want to hurt yourself. There's no other people. Okay. You guys gonna be popping them out there?
Hey,
Who's got it?
Come on.
hey, you're cold. And I apologize, man. Wasting your time. Y'all got other shit to be doing, man. I apologize.
We got another one of these going on right now, man.
I swear, y'all. For real? Oh, shit. Man, you put your shotgun on. Look, that's him too, though. Look.
No, it's not for you, man.
No, but I'm saying, Sarge, that's him that you always be with you, huh?
No, it's me.
No, they're just always around.
Oh, yeah, it is him, huh?
The dog.
So where the lady at?
Right here.
Oh, there she go. I'm sorry, y'all.
What'd I say? Back behind that Jeep.
You let go. The seat's over, man.
No, it's not. Where's the other one go?
I got somebody that shut the fuck up. Bitch, I don't want to shut you up.
Get your hands off of me. Get your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant. Get your hands off of me, Sergeant. You're going to keep your fucking hands off of me, Sergeant. You're going to keep your hands off of me. No, you're not. You do not have RIA. You do not have. Okay,
I don't know what your intentions are.
Pad me. You know what my fucking intentions are,
All right,
asshole.
there we go.
Just like last night and the night before, fuckhead.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Stay back.
You don't have. Hey, get your fucking hands off of me.
Don't you
Get your fucking hands off of me.
Stay right there.
You do not have the right to fucking touch me like that, Sergeant.
I can escort you to where I need you to be.
No, you can't.
Absolutely.
No,
I
you
can.
can't. Just like you can take my camera 2 nights ago, right?
Absolutely.
Just like it's okay for you guys to fucking violate me last night, right?
Just like I told you.
See, you're making this scene about you.
If you're
I've been
filming
quiet.
a crime scene,
yeah, guess what?
I could take that
Guess
as
what?
evidence.
42 USC 2000 says you cannot, for journalistic purposes.
You're not a journalist. Where's your press pass? Let me see
Right
your
here,
press pass.
motherfucker.
All right, guess what?
Yeah.
I don't know what to...
Guess what? You know what? Yeah, look at it. Enjoy it. You want to get a
Smile
good look at it.
A good citizen.
Get a good look at it.
Okay,
The United
I said,
States has not
you should
required
check-
press
listen,
passes for nearly 200 years,
Listen,
sir.
you should also learn that press has to listen to what police officers say about where they can set up for their press area.
The United States Supreme
Do you
Court
understand
has
that?
said 10 feet. And if you want it, sir, if you want it secure,
No.
you put up crime scene tape.
It's where we say.
You put up
It
crime
is where
scene tape.
we say.
You put up tape.
It is where we say.
Put up tape.
It is where we say.
You put up tape.
So you stay back here when we finish.
105 affirmative.
You
They
can
are.
move up closer. He doesn't want to be filmed by it.
Doesn't matter. It's in public.
He doesn't want to be filmed by
It doesn't matter.
So that's fine. So you're gonna
I'm on
stay
a
here
public place. I can
Good.
record
You're gonna
anything
stay
I
here.
can see from fucking
Back
public,
behind
including
this sheet.
him, including them people, which of course I did because there's kids involved. Sergeant. What'd you call me?
now. Mr. Press Guy Collins. That's your
Yeah,
name.
what's up, buddy? How you get? You know my name, don't you? Guess what? You're gonna call me Mr. Colton and be so far up your ass, you're gonna know I'm there.
That's.
All right, guys. So listen to what Kaspersky says, and then watch the blonde lady's face. She's like, "This is some shit. Like, what happened here? What's going on?" She looks like she has no idea what to do. Arrest me, say something to him, get in trouble. I mean, her face says a lot. But at exactly 5:35, listen to what Kaspersky says.
All right, we're good here. We're cleared. Hey, Joe, can you text?
All right, we're good here, he says. 39 seconds after he broke off contact with me. All right, we're good here, as in it's time to go. Same thing he said to Joe earlier. All right, we're good here. Yep, there's something going on here, huh? I think it's just retaliation. Well, guys, that's it. Here is our star, Sergeant Dave Kaspersky. That's what I've got. I know it's a long one. I'm sorry, guys. It's 48 minutes long. I apologize. But you know what? It needs to be said. It needs to be done. As always, take care of yourself and each other. I thank you for your support. Appreciate it.